Does the Hawkeye STI still live up to its reputation that it's always had? Before we can answer that, we really have to go back and talk about how this car evolved from when it came out to really where it is now in 2024. The Hawkeye generation came out from 2006 to 2007. While the GD chassis generation was from 2004 to 2007, the Hawkeye facelift version came out only in 2006 and 2007. From 2004 to 2005 was the Blob-Eye. The Blob-Eye came with the exact same motor, the exact same transmission, but I believe some things were tweaked just a little bit. To the untrained eye, it's the exact same car with the exception of the facelift. Then in 2006 came the Hawkeye. Now the Hawkeye came with a different grille, some different headlights, a few other minor things were added. The Hawkeye generation also came with these little plastic strips that goes over the fenders. They're not fender flares, but they're just, little pieces of plastic that make it look a little bit better. There's a cop, chilling. And for quite a while, these cars were absolutely loved. I remember growing up seeing these cars. When I was in high school and before I could drive, this was 100% the car that I wanted. I could care less about the age of it, rattly interior, bad speakers, whatever. I could always make that better myself. And that's part of what makes these cars so special and enjoyable too. They don't come perfect from the factory. Part of what makes them special is that you make them better yourself. And then throughout that process and throughout that journey, it just becomes so special to you. And that's really how you build a bond and a relationship with the cars. Both the Hawkeye and Blob-Eye generation STIs have always been known for being the cars that you buy, not because they're perfect from the factory, but you buy them because you make them perfect over time. And with a car like this, it'll most likely never be perfect. Unless you're willing to dump an absurd amount of money into the car, it's never gonna be perfect. The interior is still gonna rattle. The car will feel a bit clunky at times, but that's the thing. That's somewhat how these cars were supposed to be. Nowadays, every car manufacturer is chasing perfection, which nothing wrong with that by any means, but no car manufacturers still make cars that are super fun to drive, fun to tune, fun to build, and still kind of use cheap plastics because they're not going for high quality, refined, interior design. They're more worried about driving performance and, oh, thanks dudes, just let me pass. Thanks, homie. They're more worried about interior design, high quality, whereas the Subaru STI, especially this generation, is really just more on the driver. Feel good gears, more about power. Sure, it's plastic on the inside, but that's not why you buy the car. As newer cars started to come out, people started to compare this generation Subaru to newer cars that were coming out. The problem when you compare this generation to the cars that are coming out in 2023, 2024, all these new cars, is that companies don't make cars like this anymore. The Subaru STI just got discontinued. They don't even really make this model anymore. I'm sure they'll come out with something that's like a hybrid or an electric or something like that, but it's not gonna be like this generation car. It's gonna be more like a comfort, it'll be a little sporty. I'm sure it'll be kind of quick. You're not gonna be able to go through the gears like you can with this one. It's probably not gonna have that race car feel to it. You can probably make it look pretty good. In terms of driver feel and enthusiast feel, this is 100% the one to have. So when people started comparing new cars to this generation STI, it's easy to see why you could look at this one and be like, oh, it's a piece of crap. A lot of non-Subaru enthusiasts think that. They think that these cars are really low quality, they're expensive for what you get. You can get more power output from a different car for cheaper and all sorts of things. While that is not far from the truth, there's no car that's still made that's like this Subaru. Brand new cars don't rattle and they don't squeak, in terms of the interior. They just don't really do that. Materials got better, they got higher quality, companies just evolved over time and they just got better. So it's really easy to compare a new car to a car like this and think this one is just really low quality, really kind of on a budget. And then for the price range of other cars in this year, this being so much more expensive. So does the Hawkeye STI still live up to its hype today? I think absolutely. When looking for a raw performance car that you want to tinker with, work on, and just almost become sufficient in working on cars, these Subarus are great in doing that. Now it's a pro and a con that these cars might break down and might need more maintenance, compared to other cars. But if you have the time on your hands, it's fun to tinker and figure out what went wrong and figure out how you can fix it and even possibly make it better. Dude, this is so pretty, holy shit. The Hawkeye STI definitely lives up to its hype still. A lot of people overlook them now because they're getting older, Newer cars are getting more refined, and I think most people are just moving away from combustion engine. There's a whole new generation of cars coming out with electric, EVs, Teslas, all this type of stuff, and technology just getting so advanced every single day as we keep going forward. Cars like these are just going to be harder and harder to find. So coming across a car that's so enthusiast focused and simply for the driver's feel is just really hard to find. The Hawkeye STI absolutely still lives up to its hype. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you like the video. I just moved to Idaho, so we're literally just exploring. There's so much more exploring to be done. I hope you guys enjoy. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.